Welcome to Old Folks Racing PlayStation. Welcome back to this Backpain GT series. Round 3 now. After Bathurst and Imola, we have the mighty Nurburgring combined circuit. So that's just the Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit joined up with the Nordschleife. So it should be quite an interesting race. Of course, very demanding circuit here in Germany. We'll have just 3 laps, but of course each lap is, as you can see there on the screen, 25.37 kilometers and 87 corners, and all of them are a little bit different. So it will be quite interesting to see how this race is going to unravel, and we are going to go through the starting grid. This is race 1 of round 3, so it's the 5th race of the season. And so far in the previous 4 races we had 2 wins for Jorge Jesus, 2 wins for Delphi Moura. It has been a very Portuguese dominated championship, and here is again we can see the Portuguese drivers in good standing as Delphi Moura takes pole position for race 1, followed by Diogo Silva. Second place man, third place is Peter Adrian. Nice qualifying there by Peter, followed by Rob Oldham. Welcome back to both drivers. 5th place Simon Allen, 6th place Dale Taylor. Then it's Sid Waters and the new driver that I do not know the name, and I'm going to have to check the name possibly later, but he is in basically 8th place. 9th place is Andrew Dalby, followed by Diogo Almeida. 11th, Jorge Jesus. He did not set the time. In fact, most of these drivers were not able to set the time because basically it's just 1 lap qualifying, and some drivers did mistakes or contact, and of course the lap does not count. 12th place is Scott Davely. 13th place is Gonçalo Moda, and 14th is Kev and we've got almost a full grid here, so we should have plenty of action. And of course, I already found out the name of the driver in 8th place. That's Matt. So welcome, Matt, to Old Folks Racing PlayStation. And let's now find out. They are very bunched up. So let's see how this start is going to go. And it's a good start for Delphi Moura. A good start also for Peter Adrian. And a good start there also for Rob Oldham in that green and black car, as everyone is trying to go through turn 1 safely, and it's Delphi Moura who is going to lead into turn 1. Look at Rob Oldham there, it goes into 2nd place. Peter Adrian, a bit of pushing and shoving there, and several drivers already. I think Peter Adrian has had, 4 wide there through that corner. Look at this, wow! 2nd place is Simon Howell. Where did he come from? Oh, look at this, a bit of pushing and shoving there between Diogo Silva. Between Peter Adrian and Rob Oldham. Diogo Silva is trying to get ahead of Rob. He does. Diogo Silva up into 4th place, down to 4th place as he started 2nd. And look at Simon Allen. We get the replay of the start from him because that looked like quite the start. And something has happened as well to Dale Taylor. So we'll get the replay of the start. Dale Taylor without his rear wing, and of course no damage in Old Folks Racing PlayStation, but this means probably he got hit from behind is my diagnosis. Let's see if evidence confirms that. And yes, there was a bit of a mix-up there in the first corner, as it was Dale Taylor, and he's going to get hit from behind by another driver. I believe that's Jorge Jesus also. No, that's not Jorge Jesus, sorry, that is better to put in the chase camera, otherwise we can't figure out who is who. This is Kev Allen, this is Diogo Almeida, this is Jorge Jesus, and some drivers there are already not pointing in the right direction, so to speak. And and Jorge Jesus also got involved in that, and multiple collisions there between that number 43 and that's Matt. Let's get a view from the rookie on how his start was, because I think he was in the middle of all the action, unfortunately. And yes, and he was also who's that? That's Dale Taylor ahead of him, and that's Sid Waters. Now braking for turn 1, he's in the middle, he's in a kind of a sandwich. He tries to brake later, but he does not clear Dale Taylor, and they both spin, and this is how Dale Taylor got his rear wing damaged. as and he gets hit and then by other drivers there. This is a very tricky corner. This chicane is not, looks like a bit of a temporary chicane. Dale Taylor is in 14th, 13th is Andrew Dalby, and they both had delays. 12th is Kev Allen, but he started in 14th, and then he's going to go, and then Matt and then him collide then, and Matt is now delayed. But to be frank, there was space there for Kev Allen. They should be able to go side by side. 10th is Scott Davely. Then in 9th is George Zeus, despite that incident in turn 1. 8th is Diogo Almeida. 7th is Gonçalo Mota. Nice start there by Gonçalo Mota. We did not see the start by Kev Allen. Look at that, there's a massive train here behind Peter Adrian, side by side there between Gonçalo Mota and side by side there between Gonçalo Mota and Diogo Almeida. I think this is going to be Gonçalo's corner. Yes, it is, and several drivers running wide there, including Rob Oldham, who is not having the greatest first lap. Now Gonçalo Mota, almost contact there with Rob Oldham, but they managed to run side by side there. Delphine Moura, by the way, is in the lead of the race. Second is Simon Allen, but then there is a mighty battle there for third place between Diogo Silva and also Peter Adrian. Peter runs wide there for third place. Here comes Diogo Silva. Oh no, there is a problem there with Sid Waters. Sid Waters loses the position to Gonçalo Mota. Gonçalo up into 5th place now. And let's go and have a look at the top two. The top two are Delphine Moura now in the Nordschleife, followed by Simon Allen, and then it's a big battle here between Peter Adrian and Diogo Silva. They go through Hatzenbach for the first time, flat out there. Very tricky section, very twisty, as they go now through Hatzenbach corner and then through the S, and there is a group there with there's a massive battle there at the back between, well, there's a whole train there behind Sid Waters, who is in 6th place, followed by Rob Oldham, followed by Scott Davely is in the middle there as well, as they go down through Flugplatz for the first time, and we'll see the slight jump there by Peter Adrian and all the other drivers, as Diogo Silva is coming quite quickly now. This is the fastest, one of the fastest. Oh, look at this, Diogo Silva on the inside. Oh, and they touch contact between the two drivers there. Contact between the two drivers, and Peter Adrian retains the position. Now can Diogo Silva. Now through Schwedenkreuz for the first time. There you go, Peter Adrian, followed by Diogo Silva, followed by Gonçalo Mota. Let's go back and have this little train to see if everyone goes through safely. No, of course no. Through Arenberg there, and several drivers, including Rob Oldham, is in the gravel. I believe Scott Davely got also delayed there, and we'll get a quick replay. We expect a lot of carnage here, so I'm not sure we'll catch all the action. But this corner is very tricky indeed, and this we're kind of already half expecting this. Oh, and there was a contact there between George Zeus and everyone runs wide. Not everyone spins. Scott Davely, unfortunately, is one of the ones that spin, and several other drivers got delayed there. We'll look at this. That was Andrew Dalby there trying to take avoiding action, as Matt is now sitting 14th, 13th is Scott Davely, 12th is Andrew Dalby, 8th then is Rob Oldham. Dale Taylor up into 10th place. Let's see, and incredibly, Sid Waters, who had a train of drivers behind. Oh, now he's off at the Foxhole, and he's losing a lot of time there. Sid Waters, he cannot press the reset button, and more carnage here with George Zeus there at Adenauer Forst. Let's have a look at what may have happened here. Several drivers were, and I think George had a bit of help there in well, let's have a look at here. Through the Foxhole they go. Off goes Sid Waters, off goes George. George is now completely out of control. He's just using the guardrail. As we had a small problem there that I apologize for, as the race is continuing. We were looking at George Zeus there, as he is now in, and I do apologize. We'll try to fix these problems as soon as we can, and I think now the problems are going to be fixed. Yes, the problems are going to be fixed. I do apologize again for these problems as George Jesus continues to recover. He's in 9th spot. Now, a driver that's not having problems is Delphi Mora. We haven't seen much of him. He's now through Kesselsen. Second place man is Simon Allen. Third place Peter Adrian, who's still getting chased by Diogo Silva. Fifth place is Gonçalo Mota, followed by Diogo Almeida. Diogo had great pace in qualifying. Unfortunately, he could not complete the lap. He's in 6th. 7th is Kev Allen. 8th is Del Taylor. 9th is Jorge Jesus. And 10th is Rob Oldham. 11th is Andrew Dalby, followed by Scott Davey. Now, let's see where the battles are. And there's a big battle here between between Peter Adrian and Diogo Silva. They go through Kesselsen for the first time, and look at this, the lead is already 10 seconds. We are not yet at the end of the first lap as Diogo Silva now through Kesselsen tries to get back into that third place. And no overtaking here. Peter Adrian has a very fast car indeed. Through Moot Curve they go. And now they're approaching the carousel. There's one more corner, two more corners before the carousel. And look at this, Simon Allen in second place, and they're actually recovering time there. Look at Diogo Almeida has overtaken. Diogo Silva now finally goes through as well. Oh, and a bit of pushing and shoving there with Peter Adrian. Down into fourth goes Peter. By the way, Diogo Almeida is up into fifth place. He has overtaken Gonçalo Mota. There's a nice little group here. There's a big group there behind Kev Allen. That consists also of Dale Taylor and a recovering George. Oh, Kev Allen in the carousel. It is a true carousel for him, and several other drivers also getting caught up in this very particular corner as Rob Oldham battled there for 9th spot. Let's go back and have a look at other battles as Diogo Almeida is now very close to Peter Adrian. Diogo Almeida wants that 4th place. And the quickest drivers are getting to the front, as we would expect. George Jesus is also a very quick driver. Gonçalo Mota holding on to that 6th place. Then it's Del Taylor, followed by George Jesus. Kev Allen has had a problem at the carousel, so he is further back now, 5 seconds behind these drivers now. Very tricky to just follow all the action. We'll do our best. Where is Delphi Mora? He's in Flanskarten. Ooh, he's also leaving the track there through the second part of Flanskarten into the Stefan Beloff S's and through Schwans or whatever the name of that corner is. Second is Simon Allen. Third, Diogo Silva. Fourth is now Diogo Almeida. Diogo Almeida has overtaken Peter Adrian. Peter down into 5th place. And and Peter Adrian, there was something there that is missing. So we are not going to rewind so often, as this race is also a bit longer than the usual Old Folks Racing PlayStation race. But of course, if something happens to the front runners, we'll try to catch that action. And in this case, Peter Adrian's wing, and this is what happened as they were going through Brunchen. And Peter was in 3rd place. They were going through Brunchen, and Diogo Almeida very close to. Was that a bit of a push there? Was that a bit of a push or not? As we will get a replay of this particular incident here, and I think the breaking point of Diogo Almeida is slightly later than the breaking point of Peter. And yes, there was a bit of a push there. And Peter Adrian loses quite a bit of time. He loses only one position. Only one position lost is in 6th place. Look at the Gonçalo Mota drivers all over the place there in the ice curve. And now going to Flanskarten. You can see the cars jumping here. Yes, there you go. Nice simulation there of the car jumping. Let's look for other battles. And we seem to have plenty of them, as Del Taylor is also running very hard there, and with George Jesus behind him. George up into 8th place after Kev Allen has spun at the carousel. Oh, and then the big crash there. Oh! And George Jesus goes through both of them. But this is Del Taylor, and I believe Gonçalo Mota as well, and we'll get a replay as we will try to capture things that happen within at least the top 6 or 7. And this was clearly the case with Gonçalves. We're not sure who lost it first, but it was, well, let's look from Del Taylor's perspective, because I think we'll probably get a better view there. As they were going, oh, and Gonçalves lost it completely, nowhere to go there for Del Taylor. And Jorge Jesus very nicely indeed there. He manages to, oh, look at this, Del Taylor trying to get out of the way, so is Gonçalves, there goes Caval, and there goes Rob Old, and there goes Andrew Dalby. As Del Taylor and Gonçalves, and really no one's fault there. Gonçalves just lost it on his own at the Stefan Beloff assist. That's, oh, and he loses it again now. And Del Taylor, what on earth is going on with Del? Because two incidents almost in consecutive corners. We'll get a replay of what happened there between him and oh no, it wasn't Del Taylor. I believe it was Gonçalves again. Let's have a look, because he was battling with Andrew Dalby on the inside there. And Gonçalves, is he going to lose it on his own? No, it was in fact Andrew Dalby that lost it. And Gonçalves now is the driver with nowhere to go, and several drivers there. Scott Levy tried to go there in between cars at the small carousel. So quite an active first lap, but look at the gap that Delphi Mora has. He's already at the end of the lap. Through Tiergarten he goes, and he is on fire as he goes through now to the end of the lap. Second place is Simon Allen, third place Diogo Silva, fourth place Diogo Almeida, fifth place Peter Adrian. Up into sixth is Jorge Jesus after having cleared Gonçalves and Del Taylor as they collided at Flansgarten. Seventh is Cavallan. He's spun at the carousel, but he has been doing quite well since then. Eighth is Rob Oldham. Ninth is Del Taylor. And Dale is on recovery mode, and he's probably going to try something here in Tiergarten to overtake as they break the very heavy braking area of Hohenrhein. And Del Taylor continues to be in 9th as they complete the first lap. Then it's Scott Lavery in 10th. 11th is Gonçalves Mota after those well, two incidents. He lost it on his own at the Stefan Beloff curve and then nowhere to go because Andrew Dalby was spinning in front of him there. Andrew in 12th place. 13th is Sid Waters. 14th is rookie Matt. And there seems to be an emerging battle here for second place, because Simon Allen, he is in second. Look at Delphi Mora, he's done an 8:32 from a standing start, and that is an unbelievable time. That is almost the fastest times we saw in qualifying, except that he had a standing start. That's an unbelievable opening lap for Delphi Mora. Everyone else is, well, a few other drivers in the 8 minutes category, but most drivers that got caught up in incidents in the 9 minutes category. And Simon Allen now having to contend with a combination of Diogos. Diogo Silva in 3rd place, and 4th place man is Diogo Almeida. We'll keep an eye on other battles, but we'll follow this battle for second place quite closely, as we seem to have lost any ability for these drivers to challenge for the lead, unless of course Delphi Mora makes a mistake. They go through the chicane of the GP circuit, and now they enter the Nordschleife, and Simon Allen seems to be struggling a little bit with that number 9, and he's got another number 9, that's the 09 of Diogo Silva. Diogo Silva is all over the place there because Diogo Almeida is coming after him in Hudson-Bach, and this is actually what Simon Allen wanted to see, these two drivers battling with one another, and he is able to get some breathing space, and that's exactly what happened as the battle now for 3rd place gets very hot indeed. Through Hudson-Bach they go, and through the S's. Now who's behind them? Where is Jorge Jesus? Jorge Jesus is only 4 seconds behind these drivers, despite having to contend with multiple incidents. He did not have many incidents on his own, except in the first corner, but he had to navigate multiple incidents, and that has delayed him somewhat, but he's still in the mix, surely, as he is there he is in 5th place. 6th is Peter Adrian, and Peter Adrian is under pressure from Peter Adrian under pressure from Cavallo, and we'll take a view on that shortly, as we now have these two drivers battling for third place here at Schwedenkreuz, and this is a very fast corner indeed, and Diogo Almeida now is going to go for it, or is he? And he's going to go for it. Oh, and Diogo Silva gets pushed off. Diogo Silva pushed off the corner there, and Diogo Almeida up into third. We'll get the replay of this one, as Diogo Almeida a little bit forceful there at well, as you probably have to be forceful at the Nordschleife, but let's have a look here. They were going through Arenberg, and there was a little bit of a gap, but and they just pointed out to the same piece of real estate. Diogo Silva loses third place, but not fourth. He's now having to contend with Jorge Jesus. By the way, Peter Adrian is almost Cavallo probably had a thought there at going inside in Arenberg, just like Diogo Almeida did, but he gets out of it. He is in 7th place. 8th is Dale Taylor, 9th is Scott Davely, and 10th is Gonçalo Mota. We'll primarily look at the top 10, but we'll try to capture other overtakes if there are any at the moment. And look at Matt is already 3. Is he in the race? No, Matt has retired from this race, unfortunately. And 13th is now 13 drivers on the lead lap, because it's such a long lap. 12th is Andrew Dalby. Let's look for battles here. The closest battle now seems to be these two, which is basically Jorge Jesus coming to and problems. I do apologize, I keep having controller problems. Keep having controller problems. That number 09 of Diogo Silva is, well, now I don't know what's going on. Yes, we seem to have again proper broadcast. I do apologize for these technical difficulties. Battle for 4th place continues there through Exmula into the Lauda corner and into Bergwerk. Look at the battle there as well for 2nd place between Simon Allen and Diogo Almeida. And Simon Allen trying to hold on to that 2nd place. Now we are on lap 2 out of 3, but of course very long lap, still quite a lot of race to go. We'll keep an eye on this battle. Keep an eye also on the battle between these two drivers for 4th spot, as Jorge Jesus is coming with a lot of momentum there. And here he comes into Kesselshen, and will he go for it? Yes, he goes for it. Look at this, side by side through Kesselshen. This is very tight over here, and Jorge Jesus does a good job there. Both drivers doing very well indeed there. Both drivers basically leaving each other room, but Diogo Silva's race is not going in the right direction. He's now in 5th place. Where is Cavallo? Cavallo is a few seconds behind. And where is Diogo Almeida? Diogo Almeida has had a problem. Diogo Almeida has had a problem there. He's had a problem, and he is now under pressure from Diogo Silva again. But he retains now 3rd position. He's lost 2nd place to Jorge Jesus. He's lost to Jorge Jesus. Delphi Moura continues to lead. We are on the lookout for battles. And it seems to me that Simon Allen is the driver that has benefited the most with all this tangling behind him, as he is now able to go and stay in 2nd place. Then is Jorge Jesus, then is Diogo Almeida, then is Diogo Silva, then is Cavallo, and all these drivers running on their own. Then it's Peter Adrian. Peter did get overtaken by Cavallo, as that number 33 now sits in 7th place, followed by Del Teller in 8th spot. 9th spot is Scott Davely. 10th is Gonçalo Mota. 11th is Rob Oldham. 12th is Sid Waters, and the closest battle is here, because Andrew Dalby, we haven't seen what happened to Andrew Dalby, but he did lose quite a fair bit of time. He's now sitting 13th and last on the road, but we'll get a close view now of the main battle here, and that battle is for 2nd place. Oh, and Jorge Jesus goes off. He goes off big time. We'll get the replay, and someone seems to have hit him as Whoa, he just lost it completely at Pflanzgarten. That's another tricky section of this. I don't think anyone hit him. He was coming behind Simon, and he just lost it there. Yes, he loses it. There goes Diogo Almeida back into second place, and now Diogo Silva. Can he go back into fourth place? Yes, he can. So, not a good error there by Jorge Jesus. He did lose quite a fair bit of time, but he's back again in the chase, and we are about to finish the second lap out of 3 through Schwalbenschwanz. They go, and Samenauer makes a mistake there. Samenauer makes a mistake on his own under pressure and loses second place for the first time. He's going now through the Kleines Carousel, the small carousel there, and he is now through Galgenkopf into the straight. Let's see, by the way, if we can still see other drivers behind Delphi Moura. I don't think so. Also, we don't get the TV view that we usually get on TV with very long shots of the straight. Second place is Diogo Almeida, third place is Samenauer, followed by Diogo Silva, and followed by Jorge Jesus, and these two are together. Look at this, look at Diogo Silva, he's coming. Diogo Silva is coming for the draft, not the huge drafting effect, but of course this is a 2 kilometer straight. It's the longest allowed straight in an FIA approved circuit, and there it is. Diogo Silva now at the end of the straight, drafting from Samenauer, and he's going to go for it, and he's going to go back into third place. Yes, he is. He's going to back in third place. Heavy braking here at Hohenrhein, and it's and Diogo Silva almost loses it. He does lose it, but manages not to spin, and this was a heavy braking point, as they now are third, fourth and fifth, and they're all trying to defend on the inside. Samenauer coming from the outside, and Jorge Jesus is going to try to outbrake at least one of them, as Samenauer is going. Samenauer, nicely done there, but he runs wide, and but does get the position, and Jorge Jesus is now almost contact between Jorge Jesus, almost actual contact between Jorge Jesus and Diogo Silva, and Samenauer again says thank you very much, and uses that to go back into third place. What a battle here between these three drivers. Battle for the last place in the podium here, as Jorge Jesus is again, this is like take 3 at coming after Diogo Silva. Now Diogo Silva is trying to go defensive. We are in the GP circuit for the final time, so we are on the final lap of this race. We are not seeing the leader Delphi Moura because he's 20 seconds up the road, and a few of these drivers have been in contention all day. Diogo Almeida, Diogo Silva seems to be struggling a little bit now. He seems to be struggling because he's losing time to Samenauer, and here comes Jorge Jesus now on the outside there, and Jorge is becoming a little bit frustrated. He probably feels he's got a bit more pace there, but he just needs to find a way to overtake, as Diogo Silva getting very twitchy there at the end of the Grand Prix loop. Final time through this Grand Prix loop, and now it's one more round of the Nordschleife, and it will be over for Delphi Moura. Could be his third win in a row. As now look at Jorge Jesus, a bit of a bump and run there, and Diogo Silva tries to return the favor. A bit of a bump and run there for Jorge Jesus, but he does get the position. Diogo Silva down into 5th place, 4th is Jorge Jesus, 3rd is Samenauer. And let's look for other battles. What's going on with Cavallo in 6th place? Not much. 7th, Del Teller. Something is happening with Del Teller. We caught him off the track. Now he had a big gap behind him, so we're not sure that he's going to lose. He's in a really strange position there. I wonder how this has happened. It was at the exit of the chicane. Almost looks like he wants to go into the Grand Prix pit lane. That's a bit tricky now because he's got, well, he loses. Surely he's going to lose 7th place to Peter Adrian. Yes, he will, and he's going to lose 8th place to Scott Davely as well, as he cannot press the reset button because cars are too close behind. He finally gets back in 9th place. 8th place is now Scott Davely. 7th is Peter Adrian. Nice work there by Peter, but now, as we expect, Jorge Jesus is having with a lot of pace there to Simon Allen, and Diogo Almeida actually has not checked out as much. The gap between him and Simon is just 2 seconds, so everything is still to play there for second place. Diogo Silva has not lost a lot of time either. There they go through the very fast section that is taking us to Schwedenkreuz. Into Schwedenkreuz they go for the last time. This corner is very tricky. You can spend an afternoon on YouTube watching people crash. This is Arenberg now into the foxhole, and Simon Allen is starting to look at those mirrors and starting to see that blur of red and white of Jorge Jesus, as Jorge Jesus definitely has now checked out from Diogo Silva and is now attacking Simon Allen. This is the battle for the last place of the podium, so we will there's contact there between the Simon Allen and Simon Allen all over the place. Did he get hit is the question, as he loses 4th place as well to Diogo Silva. But what happened there? We're going to get a replay of this, and I'm not sure if Simon went out on his own or if he had any help, and it seems to me there was contact there as Simon, he does get hit by Jorge Jesus there. He does get hit, and now he's completely out of control and he spins. And we've seen quite a few of these situations as of late with this car, of just bump and run situations. We've seen a couple in this race. We've seen a couple in the opening round at Bathurst, and that's something maybe for the admins to have a better look at, because it does seem to have happened a lot with this car in particular. I think people just have different braking points, and it does not make for great racing. There's a big battle there between Scott Davely and a recovering Dale Taylor. That's battle for 8th place. Battle for 8th place, which is the first major battle in this race. There goes through Metzgesfeld, and now through Kallenhard, as Dale Taylor seems to have a lot more pace than Scott Davely, as they go through the 3-way rights now, and Scott Davely is clearly struggling a little bit, and surely Dale Taylor is going to go through. Yes, he is. And Dale Taylor recovers 8th place, but now runs wide and spins. Oh no! This is the problem here at the Nordschleife. You have to be consistent. If you are doing an overtaking maneuver, you run offline, and that's very, very tricky. And Dale Taylor now is with an open bonnet. He's still in 9th place. 10th is Gonçalo Motta. 11th, by the way, is Rob Oldham. 12th is Andrew Dalby. Is Sid Waters. 13th is Andrew Dalby, and all these drivers are relatively separated. Now, the closest battles as we go through Castleton are, well, Diogo Almeida has 4 seconds ahead of Jorge Jesus. 4th is Diogo Silva. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 are Portuguese, just like in the first race at Imola. 5th is Simon Allen. Then is Kev Allen, but they all seem to be fairly separated, so we'll keep an eye on battles, but no obvious battles at the moment. So let's have a look at our race leader, because we haven't seen what he's up to as he goes through the very twisty section that now leads into Wipperman. There he goes for the final time, then into Eschbach, and now through Brunchen, as the crowd now waves to race leader, that number 33 of Delphine Moura. There he goes through Brunchen for the final time. Let's follow him for a few more corners. What a race he has had. Look at his lap times, 1:39. He continues. Well, he wasn't the fastest driver the last time round. Then he goes through Eiskurve, then into Flansgarten for the final time. You'll see his car jumping as he goes through that section there. Now through the second section of Flansgarten into the Stefan Beloff S's, and Delphine Moura is still running very hard, even if he has 23 seconds of a gap to Diogo Almeida in the 2nd place. 3rd place is Jorge Jesus. 4th place is Diogo Silva. 5th place is Simon Allen. Let's see if Simon can come back at Diogo. Somehow he's 4 seconds behind. 5th is 5th is Simon Allen. 6th is Kev Allen. Nice race there for Kev. 7th is Peter Adrian. He was third at one point, but he still pretty good result for Peter in his return to Volkswagen Racing PlayStation 8 is Scott Davely. Now Dale Taylor has recovered from that spin at the three-way right, a spin that he actually was generated by him trying to overtake Scott. Now they go through Brunchen, and now we have a battle to follow on the last lap. As and now look at this, Scott Davely all over the place there. They're a minute behind the leader through the ice curve, and now through Flensgarten for the final time. Can Scott Davely retain that position or not? Let's see where the leader is as they go through the jump. And here is the leader, is in the Dottingerhohe for the final time. Let's go and see the battle between Dale Taylor and Scott Davely, as Dale is trying to salvage something out of this race, at least an 8th place. They go through the Stefan Beloff S's, and now here comes the race leader and the win for Delphi Mora. Delphi Mora wins 3 in a row and is now surely the championship leader. Second place is going to be Diogo Almeida. Third place is going to be Jorge Jesus. The gap between the two is decreasing quite quickly, but it's not going to be enough surely for Jorge Jesus to challenge for second place, as Diogo Almeida goes through the final corner now, and the checkered flag is inside. Third is Jorge Jesus, fourth is Diogo Silva, fifth is Simon Allen, sixth is going to be Kev Allen, seventh is going to be Peter Aiden, and this is now the battle. This is now the battle as Dale Taylor on the final straight is going to go for it. The drafting is not huge, but it is there, of course, with such a long straight, as the two cars go side by side into the Dottingerhohe. Now, who is going to be the bravest, the latest breaker, as they now go through this very soft corner, and Dale Taylor is already ahead. Dale Taylor is ahead, and through Tiergarten he does get the position. He does get the position. 8th place, nice work there by Dale Taylor, as long as he can now stop on time. Yes, he can, and he does take the position on the last, almost on the last corner. Dale Taylor 8th, 9th is Scott Davely, 10th is going to be Gonçalo Mota, 11th is going to be Rob Oldham, the reigning champion of Volkswagen Racing PlayStation, not having such a great season in the GT3 car. 12th is going to be Sid Waters, and 13th is Andrew Dalby has actually he is not retired. He is quite a way down. We thought he was retired because we saw that blank screen, but he's actually going to finish the race in 13th spot, as we take the final few corners with these two drivers, as Sid Waters is coming to take the checkered flag. He's coming to take the checkered flag, and there he is now taking the checkered flag in 12th place. 13th is going to be Andrew Dalby, and I think by this time Delphi Mora is already spraying the champagne in the podium, as Andrew Dalby is a minute and 40 behind the race winner, but he does complete the race. That's more points for Andrew Dalby in 13th. This completes coverage of round 3, race 1. It was a pretty wild race at the Nordschleife, and we expect the same in race 2. We shall see you there. Bye bye.